Alright, here's another video on the cool Horng model STD-161 from the early 90s. So this was a fan I got back in January alongside that 2006 Comfort Zone stand fan. And this is quite an interesting fan. The only flaw with this fan is that this came with the plastic clips and all of them pretty much broke off, so now I had to have the grills tied on. But the design of the badge is what makes it unique. Now, I think I've seen these in Australia mostly. I think the brand was Techno Air or something like that, which were also made by Cool Horn. That's where I mostly saw these badges, which is quite unique in design. Never saw something like that. And apart from that, we're in the transitionary era from the 80s to the 90s. So this one came in, I would say a cyan blue color. Has cyan blue accents from the legs to the blade, and this part that holds the height adjustment in place. Matter of fact, this is a screw-on height adjustment that I use this. The base is sturdy, I'll give it that. Now the design of this pretty much replicates the Holmes HAOF series that was introduced in the 1980s, of course. Pretty much a similar design, except that, Holmes uses a rectangular knob. Matter of fact, there's that example over there. You can see the design is pretty similar, but the motor cover design is different. This one's more rectangular because that one was made by Horng. This one, of course, being made by Cool Horng, it has a more round design, and the side is more protruded this way than the Holmes version. Now, this one does not use a knob to adjust the tilting mechanism. Matter of fact, this is just a spring lock tilting mechanism. 45 degree. Lowest point. And this is the highest point. That's a reasonable tilting degree angle, and I wish more fans would have used this. Apart from last scale, of course. It has this handle. Not sure how many people would actually use that. But yeah, that's pretty much all that. It's in quite relatively decent shape, though. The front grille started corroding because it was sitting outside. And I took some of the rust off, so it's fine now. Oh yeah, and pitch-wise, I wouldn't say it's really that steep, but it does the job. So there is another thing with this fan here. This is, of course, a cheaper replica of the Holmes fans, even though they're both made in Taiwan. Well, actually, the Holmes is made in China, but this is made in Taiwan. Anyway, let's start it up. So here's high speed. Alright, see, there might be a loose wire in there, so I'm not sure. A bit off balance. Yeah, it's very out of balance. The airflow is decent overall. Put this over here, make it better. Yeah, that's some decent airflow. Yeah, that's quite strong, and matter of fact, it is constant. Goes off. That's medium. Yeah, that's a very powerful fan. Not sure what is making that rattling noise. I think it's the bearing or something. Low. Yeah, this is more like a. This motor is quite faster to other fans I've seen. It's a very gentle breeze there. It is still strong. It needs to be something off with the gearbox because the fan it seems to be bogging down in some portion. Yeah, it seems to bog down every time it swings that way. So there's something to be adjusted in there. But yeah, cool Horng overall with their oscillators, they seem to be a bit iffy. Alright, end off. And the spin down timing is quite amazing. So there you have it. That is the cool Horng model STD-161 16-inch oscillating stand fan from the early 90s.